Alright guys, welcome to another video. Today we'll be talking about sizing in Framer. So a few days ago I made a little video on layouts. If you want to check that out, it's on my YouTube channel. I believe it's like my first video that I posted. But this video follows a request by a viewer that I received yesterday evening, and I totally understand because when I first started out, this was something that I was actually like struggling with quite a bit. And there's not that many resources that actually explain it well. So if you're a beginner and you want to know more about it, make sure to stick with me. But before going into more detail just about me, my name is Pablo. I do landing pages and websites for service businesses. So if you're a roofer, a plumber, a lawyer, whatever it is, as long as you're selling service and you're looking for a landing page or website, make sure to check out the links in my description and book a free call with me. The worst thing that can happen to you is that you walk away with some free value. So let's jump straight into this. Okay, so the first thing you got to do is obviously when you're building your website, you're going to insert a frame, right? So in terms of sizing, in here we're in a relative positioning. Okay, so we have our parent desktop, which is a stack, and that's why our frame that is within it is going to be relatively positioned to our parent stack. Now, there's two options in terms of sizing. So we have fixed, relative, and we also have fill in this case. So fixed pretty much just describes the pixels in terms of like width and height of your element that you selected. So here, as you can see, we have 1200 breakpoint or 1200 pixel in width for this breakpoint. And our width of our blue box or blue frame shows 1109, which makes absolute sense, right? So it's almost covering the whole width of the parent breakpoint. So that makes absolute sense. And in terms of height, we had 572. So this just describes basically the width and height in terms of pixels. It's very simple. Take, for example, I don't know, when you're at school and you're doing geometry, you're having also like, for example, a rectangle and you have, I don't know, 10 centimeters by 5 centimeters. Well, this is the same thing basically, right? It's explained in a very simple way, obviously. Then you also have relative. So relative is similar, but it's more like it covers the percentage of your whole parent breakpoint. So here it covers 92% of our desktop, right? So as you can see, there's very little spacing on the left and right, and that's why it covers 92. We can also select the height. Here we're covering slightly more than half of it, which also makes sense because if you look at it only with your eye, you can see that this is over the half of the whole desktop breakpoint. So that makes perfect sense, right? Now, you also have an option, and that's fill. And fill is an option that is actually, in my opinion, probably one of the most important ones, especially when you're talking about responsiveness of different breakpoints. So fill means basically, as the name suggests, your element that you select is gonna fill the parent breakpoint. Okay, so here we're filling basically the whole width of our desktop. Okay, and the same could go like this. Now, why is this important? I'll show you now. I'll select fixed again and fixed, and we will make this frame smaller and also smaller like this. Now, let's say that, for example, I want to insert some text. Okay, this is the first thing. Okay, so if you have a box, and even if I make this a layout, look at my text, it's overlapping, right? And that is because it is set to fit. And fit is the last one. Fit basically means that wherever you want to place your text, it's going to fit the content of the box or the text you selected. So here, basically, the width is fitting the text. Okay, that's why it's set to fit. It's fitting like the width and the height of the text. Now, if I want to change this, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to select fill because you want the text to fill this box, this blue box. And now usually what happens is that it's aligned to the left, so you're going to go down and you're going to align it centered. This could be, for example, very useful for your hero section, right? You want to make sure that your text is line centered. And yeah, let's select fit content again. Okay, And now let's see what it will look like on different breakpoints. So let's select tablet and phone. So as you can see, this is absolutely not optimized, not at all. We have here the parent stack overlapping, the text overlapping, and the same on the phone breakpoint. So in order to avoid this, what you'll do is, first of all, let's say you want the box to cover the whole thing, you're going to select fill, okay? And that way, because the desktop breakpoint is the primary breakpoint, it will automatically translate into your tablet and your phone breakpoint. Now, the problem is the text, especially on the tablet and on the phone, is still covering. So what you're going to do is you're going to do the same with the text. So fill. I want this to fill my box. And as you can see, it will automatically fill the, the content of the tablet and the phone breakpoint. Okay? So fill will be a very good option if you really want to like adjust or optimize for tablet and mobile. You're going to usually, what you're going to do for most cases, not all of them, is you're going to select fill for the width and then fit for the height. This is the most important thing. Now you can also select fill, for example, if you want to create a side-by-side hero section. So let's say you're going to do this. You're also going to select fill if you want the contents to fill the whole breakpoint. Okay, so the thing is, what happens if you select fixed and you select 1200, what's going to happen is it's not going to cover your whole desktop view if it goes above this 1200. I don't know if I can show you with this. Yeah. So let's say you want the blue box to cover the whole width and you select width 1200 pixels. It's not going to cover the whole screen if you have, for example, a bigger screen, like a 1440 pixel screen. You see, you have like here on the left and right, you have the white spacing. This can happen sometimes, especially if you upload your website and you have a larger screen than just a normal laptop screen. So this becomes a problem automatically, right? So what's very important is that you either set the width to relative 100%, there it will cover 100% of the width, or fill, and that way it will cover the whole width, even if, I can show you now, even if you're on a larger breakpoint, right? So this is very important, again, for responsiveness. Now, let's say, for example, you want to have a new box. We're gonna fill the whole content, and here we're also gonna fill, and you want to create a side-by-side kind of like structure. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna select two boxes. You're gonna make the parent frame a stack. Don't forget to create a stack, because only then will you be able to select fill, and then fill, and then here you can also select the height to fill, and the same goes there, and it will automatically adjust also here the width of both elements to 50% for each one. That is really good because it really gives you structure to work with, right? So now you can add some text here. Sorry, you can add some text here up, and you see it overflows again. The problem is, first of all, this is not a stack, and even if it's a stack, it's overflowing. So what are we going to do? Again, we're going to fill, and that's it. And then you can play around, center it if you want, maybe put it to the start, something like this. And as you can see, it also automatically adjusts on all the other breakpoints, right? So this is the most important thing. Now you can also use fit content. Sometimes you will use fit content, especially when you're, for example, creating, let's say, I use fit content quite often when I create a button. So let's create a component here. This is a button, and then you will create fit and fit. And fit content is really good also when you, for example, want to use some padding, because it will automatically adjust. Or if you have some text, if you make this smaller, let's say I want the button to be only 20, it will automatically adjust, and you can round the corners. And yeah, that's it. Basically, make sure always to fit when it comes to these elements that you really want to be the original size, and you can add it like this. And I think that's it for the elements. Make sure to use fill quite often. Sometimes you'll also use fit content. Be careful not to use 1200 pixel as a width for example, your parent stacks, for example, for the hero section or others. Make sure it's always set to fill or to relative 100%, so it covers even if the breakpoint is larger. As you can see here, it will cover nevertheless. Here again, we need to set the text to fill, sorry, fill, and that way it will stay inside and it will also be responsive on top of that, right? You can see it's responsive. So yeah, that's it for this one. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask them in the comment section. And yeah, thanks.